Welcome back to the Meadowlands racetrack on Hambletonian Day 2013. You know, Dave, Mother Nature was not giving us that look about 2 o'clock this afternoon, but we're glad she finally did, and she is in charge. We know that. Time for the All-Star Buglers and the call to the post for the 43rd edition of the Hambletonian Oaks. Number 1, Fashion Athena. Brothers John and Jim Campbell teamed up to win the 1995 Hambletonian with Tagliabue, but they'll need a Hail Mary play today to pull out a victory in the Oaks.
They might, but they've done it before. This filly is a homebred for Jules Siegel's Fashion Farms and was a 5-time winner last year, too. She owns only 1 victory this season and enters off a tiring 5th-place finish in last week's eliminations. Maybe the fortuitous post position draw will keep her close.
And, of course, John Campbell with 6 Hambletonian victories, the most in the sport. We're going to take a look at the superstar in 2013. Be a Magician set a world record 2 starts back, 8 for 8 this year, and actually appears invincible, and I cringe when I use that word.
Last year, I think I had a guarantee, and she's as close as you can get. We said the same thing last year about Check Me Out. Trainer Richard Nifty Norman won last year's Oaks for some of these same connections with the 57-to-1 shocker in personal style. Gary, they chose to go in the Hambletonian Oaks, not the Hambletonian, because they thought 2 heats against the boys might be too much.
Number 3, Classic Martine. Hall of Fame driver Ron Pierce has won the 3 of the last 11 Oaks.
And she's one of 2 finalists for trainer Chris Oakes. He purchased this filly privately from fellow Pennsylvania horseman Todd Shadle in June for the infamous undisclosed sum, and she hasn't missed the board since. Her 2nd-place effort in last week's elim for Ron Pierce was excellent, and she's got great early speed, which should put her in the perfect stalking spot.
Number 4, Mystery Woman, driver David Miller, going for back-to-back wins in this race.
And Mystery Woman stormed home to capture last week's elim in a lifetime best of 153 flat. Dave's wife Misty co-owns the filly along with Bill Donovan, the Zernizens, and Mike Taranto's Millstream. She did go faster in that elimination as compared to Be a Magician, and she's versatile enough to show speed or come from off the pace like she did last week.
And a look at the 6, FRAU BLUCHER, where we owe you the 5, COFFEECAKE Hanover, but FRAU BLUCHER, named after a character in the Mel Brooks movie Young Frankenstein. The filly has unsuccessfully chased Be a Magician in her last 2 starts.
And this is the other finalist for trainer Chris Oakes. Tim Hauser co-owns both. FRAU BLUCHER's got 11 wins from 18 lifetime starts. She's a master connections, almost $600,000 in earnings, despite costing only $21,000 as a yearling.
There's the 5, COFFEECAKE Hanover. Jim Morrill Jr. drove this filly to a 4th-place finish in her Oaks elim last time, when she gets the services of George Brennan in today's final. And Brennan's won this race twice.
He has. He did it in 2011 with Bold and Fresh, and in 2004 with Silver Springs. COFFEECAKE Hanover is a daughter of Cantab Hall, trained by the sport's leading conditioner in Ron Burke, but he's never won the Oaks or the Hambo. She's off Lasix today since it's not allowed.
All right, we're seeing the rest of the field here, and we'll get you caught up on the 7 to Dream On, the 8 Time to Kill. Hanover Belle, we saw in CHERE Hall on the outside. This filly's sire, Dewey Cheatham and Howe, did not disappoint in the Hambletonian. And
you said it, sometimes on Hambletonian Day, Gary, it is all about the post. The effort behind Be a Magician last week was even better than you think, considering her break in the Dell Miller Memorial. She's driven by the sport's dash-leading leader right now, that being Corey Callahan. Can he get her to leave the gate? We'll find out. His filly hasn't showed any speed all season.
And a look at the 5 again, COFFEECAKE Hanover. She has 1 win in 8 starts this year. Little better performance in 2012, but she did make $165,000 last year. Even though she was in the hunt last time out, I think she's still a little bit overmatched. Well, we're going to take a look at the current odds for the Hambletonian Oaks, which is just minutes away, but Be a Magician holding steady on the board at 1 to 9. It's a look at FRAU BLUCHER. She dominated on the Pennsylvania circuit, including the Sires circuit, but last couple of starts, she's had her hands full with Be a Magician.
But Gary, she's a versatile, fast filly being handled by a cagey driver in Jim Morrill Jr. Now, he's never won the Oaks, but he has supplied the sport with some of its biggest upsets.
And a look at the 7 to Dream On. Last year's 2-year-old filly trotting champion has yet to find her best stride this year. She won 8 of 9 in 2012, but is just 1 for 6 this year, and really hasn't answered the bell and didn't do so in her elimination.
The talk of the sport last year, but it's been a tale of 2 seasons. She has Hambletonian Day success, having won the Mary Annabelle a year ago. Jimmy Takter has removed the trotting hobbles for her Oaks appearance, and he's a 3-time champion as well. And Big M leading driver Yannick Gingras celebrates his 34th birthday tomorrow. He'd love to celebrate with a win.
Talk about a tale of 2 seasons. How about the 8 Time to Kill? First or second in 10 of 12 last year, making $350,000. This year, hasn't finished first, second, or third in 10 starts and earnings of $19,000, but made it into the final, so here she is.
We have had huge upsets in the Oaks before. Just look at last year with Personal Style. Right now, as I peer out at the board, Time to Kill is 65 to 1 on the odds board. Trainer Ross Krogan, driver Simon Allard, they're trying to produce a miracle here, but the tough post won't help the filly, who's shown little early speed in any recent start.
Well, the 9 Handover Belle also would be a huge major upset here, but her conditioner, her trainer Tony Alagna, is the conditioner of the sport's current pacing superstar, Captain Treacherous, undefeated, ranked #1 in the sport, and if he pulls off an upset here, then something's shining down on Tony.
You could say that again. Andover Belle, definitely one of the big long shots here. She's a filly. She's a homebred of owner John Carver's. He co-owns with Howard Taylor. And you talked about Alagna's success with the Pacers here. Mike LaChance will guide from a seemingly impossible spot. That lone win in the Oaks was with Working Gal back in 1990 for the late Dr. Ken Sieber.
And the sport's leading driver number of wins is Corey Callahan, and he's got the assignment on CHERE Hall for Jonas Cernison. Again, Cernison has 2 in here with Mystery Woman. She's been first or second in 4 or 5 this year, second in her Oaks Limb to be a magician.
She's actually getting better, but she was a victim of the post position draw. And Gary, daytime racing on Hambletonian Day, sometimes it is all about the post. But as for Callahan, this is his first drive in the Oaks. He's got his work cut out here because his filly has not gunned from the gate all season. He'll need to produce some speed.
But the lady of the hour, the moment, the year so far, the 2, Be a Magician, Brian Sears for Richard Nifty Norman, 8 for 8 this year, 10 for 13 last year. She's a 3-year-old filly trotter in the middle of her 3-year-old season, and she's already made over $1.2 million in her career.
She's the only millionaire in here. 18 wins from those 21 lifetime starts here. She's the leading money-winning horse in North America right now with earnings of over $523,000. And you take that number as opposed to her dam, Beehive, who in her racing career earned only $8,700. So this is certainly a surprise here, but what a tremendous filly she is. She's a daughter of Cadabra, and we're going to find out whether we'll crown her Hambletonian Oaks champion today.
Well, they are starting to assemble behind the gate. Field of 10 for the $500,000 Hambletonian Oaks, the 43rd edition. And once again, we're going to go up to track announcer Ken Workington, who will take us through the call.
And the preferred equine starting gate is rolling. Full field of 10 3-year-old filly trotters lining up for the 88th Hambletonian Oaks for $500,000. 1 to 9, the big favorite 2, Be a Magician. The trotting fillies are on gate, picking up speed for the Hambletonian Oaks 2013. Here they come. COFFEECAKE Hanover blasting out from between them. Classic Martine and 2 Dream On from the outside. Good early momentum. Be a Magician, the big favorite, gets away in 5th as Campbell cuts the corner with Fashion Athena into 3rd. So 2 Dream On left out there 4th and challenging. Be a Magician is 5th right now to the opening quarter. Then it's a link back to Mystery Woman, followed by FRAU BLUCHER. At the back is Handover Belle in Time to Kill, and off stride the trailer CHERE Hall. Opening quarter for Classic Martine and Pierce is 26-4. A toward opening fraction here. Speed has been king today. Here comes 2 Dream On, who presses on, and Be a Magician is out and on the move on the outside, third and gaining. Classic Martine soon to be third on the inside. COFFEECAKE Hanover left alertly is back to fourth now. They head to the half mile, and Mystery Woman gets underway with FRAU BLUCHER tracking her. And then it's Fashion Athena towards the inside, and Time to Kill at the back of the pack with HANDOVER, BELLE, and way back CHERE Hall, and Be a Magician swings over to the cones, has seized command with Brian Sears in 54 1/5. They race to the far turn, 3/8 out now. And it's Be a Magician, the heavy favorite, worked a long way to clear the lead. 2 Dream On back in her second spot. Classic Martine is now pinned in and stalled outside. Mystery Woman, fourth on the outside. Off stride goes FRAU BLUCHER just behind her. Time to Kill to the outside. Then HANDOVER, BELLE. And they turn for home. Classic Martine swings to the outside for a late bid here. 1:22-3 in the stretch, but it's Be a Magician who tries to scoot away by 2.5-3. Be a Magician, the one to reel in. Classic Martine rallies up into second. Then it's 2 Dream On third. Be a Magician home free with Brian Sears. Be a Magician keeps her winning streak alive and wins the Hambletonian Oaks in dominant style. Be a Magician. Then Classic Martine, 2 Dream On, a photo for fourth, 1:51-4.
Nice record.
Be a Magician remains perfect in 2013. She is 9 for 9, padding that gaudy bankroll and giving Brian Sears his second opportunity to win the Hambletonian Oaks and the Hambletonian on a single day. He did it in 2009 with Horse of the Year, Muscle Hill, and the Trotting Filly Broadway Schooner. What an effort by Be a Magician.
What a tremendous performance here by a true champion filly, Gary. Be a Magician marches to the front here for Brian Sears, and she's able to dig in and hold on. It wasn't as easy as it was in that elimination last week, but let's talk about the final time here. 1:51-4, a new stakes record in the Hambletonian Oaks. So as we pick it up into the first turn here, almost a little bit of traffic trouble for Brian Sears. As you see, he took back. There were 3 levers from the gate, so he's able to tuck in nicely early, give Be a Magician a little bit of a break, and then march to the front at one point to assume control. At this point, Classic Martine, as I expected, would be on the lead there. A nice tuck there for COFFEECAKE Hanover and George Brennan. John Campbell content to sit in third. 2 Dream On is going to make an early brush to the front, right in front of Be a Magician, and these two will march on by, with Be a Magician eventually able to gain the lead for Brian Sears. Nifty Norman has spoken about his filly in the past. He said, you know, she doesn't necessarily like it her best when she's on the lead, but she's always such short odds that that's where Brian Sears usually has to put her. He will assume the lead just before the half here, and then it's a matter of how far they're going to win by.
Well, in 2010, trainer Nifty Norman had the favorite in the Hambletonian Oaks. Poof, she's gone, and she was gone at the top of the stretch when she made a break. And then last year, Check Me Out and Maven, the 2 heavy favorites in the Hambletonian Oaks, they made breaks, and he won with 57-1 shot, personal style. But no problems today for Richard Nifty Norman as Be a Magician cruises to victory in the Oaks. And Classic Martine, once again, a very solid effort for second. Let's join Justin Horowitz right now with the winning connections. Justin.
Thanks, Gary. Down here with Brian Sears and Nifty Norman with Be a Magician. It's 2 in a row for you, Nifty. A little bit different this year, though, with the big favorite. Any anxious moments throughout the course of the race?
Yeah, all week, actually. But, yeah, you know, I was a nervous wreck watching the race, but she raced great.
Now, do you feel vindicated that you did the right thing by racing her against the fillies and not going in against the colts?
Yeah, I do. I'm happy. Yep.
Well, congratulations. Excellent performance by Be a Magician. Brian Sears, your second Hambletonian Oaks victory. It took you a half mile to get to the front, but was there any anxious moments once you made the front?
You know, those are pretty big numbers, 1:22-3. When we were going over the 3/4 pole, I was like, geez, you know, she gets over the ground so easy that you don't realize you're going that fast. But, you know, she's a very talented filly, and she had a lot of trot. You know, she does it real easy. But, you know, I was asking her down the lane, you know, and you can't take anything for granted.
Now you have a chance to do something you did in 2009 now when you won both the Oaks and the Hambletonian on the same day. Royalty for Life looked real good in his elimination. What are your thoughts moving forward to the big final?
You know, he was real sharp. You know, his manners were, he was well behaved. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it. It should be an exciting race. There's a lot of horses in there that think they have a shot, but I look for a good race, and I wouldn't trade him for anybody in the field.
Congratulations, Brian. Brian Sears halfway home to his big double today here on Hambletonian Day. Guys.
All right, Justin, thanks so much. Congratulations to Brian Sears. And he may be halfway home, but let's call it maybe 2/3 of the way home, because he has a horse that was the morning line favorite for the final and a horse that is in top form right now. Take a look at the Oaks final results here, Dave. Be a Magician 240. No surprise there. You were going to get rich and pay the mortgage with a ticket on her. Classic Martine second, and To Dream On third.
Yeah, Classic Martine, I hinted that she would be ready for a good performance after her game effort in the elimination. But as for Be a Magician, well, to me, the congratulations go out to trainer Richard Nifty Norman. He's now the first trainer in 39 years to win back-to-back Hambletonian Oaks. The great Glenn Garnsey was the last to do it, 1973 and 4.
And how about those two overachievers picking up checks? Time to Kill and Handover Belle. They were pretty much completely dismissed by the betting public, but each is going to go home with a little cash today.
And that's a good thing, especially with the entry fees and everything else. They overcame those outside posts, but Gary, why did they cash checks in this race? They stayed trotting.
Owned by Melvin Hartman, Herb Liverman, and David McDuffie. Be a Magician. Perfect this year.